Hello, welcome to the Super Saturday debate. A special investigation team that is probing the role of Teesta in forming a conspiracy after the Gujarat 2002 riots has claimed that she deliberately did so to implicate the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi. The S.I.T also startlingly claims that she was doing all of this at the behest of Ahmed Patel, the long-time political secretary of Sonia Gandhi. The Congress and Mr. Patel's family have dismissed these claims. The question, though, is, was Teesta being financially compensated for this work, and was she doing this to try and implicate the then Chief Minister of Gujarat as well as the ruling party? Was she doing this for political purposes?
उस समय जो राज्य की सरकार थी गुजरात में, किस प्रकार से उसे बर्खास्त किया जाए और उसे अस्थिर बनाया जाए, यह प्रथम राजनीतिक मनसा, यह प्रथम पॉलिटिकल ऑब्जेक्टिव तीस्ता सितलवाड़ और उनके मित्रों का था, उनके साथियों का था। अहमद पटेल तो मात्र एक नाम है। ही इज जस्ट अ नेम। द ड्राइविंग फोर्स बिहाइंड अहमद पटेल वॉज हिज बॉस सोनिया गांधी।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और उनका जो इकोसिस्टम है, वो नए नए थ्योरी सामने लाता है। हर बार गुजरात चुनाव जब आता है तो कभी अंसारी जी का नाम लेकर शुरू हो जाएंगे, कभी स्वर्गीय अहमद पटेल जी का नाम लेकर शुरू हो जाएंगे। हर बार चुनाव आता है तो आप कभी किसी मुस्लिम नेता का नाम जरूर लाएंगे।
All right, so what exactly has the S.I.T said? Remember, they've said this in an affidavit before a court in Ahmedabad. Let me bring you up to speed with some of these damning findings that the S.I.T has said. Number one, it says that this was a conspiracy that was hatched at the behest of late Ahmed Patel, who was political secretary to Sonia Gandhi. The affidavit goes on to say that the plot involves Teesta Setalvad and former cops R.B. Srikumar, who was ADG of police at that time, and Sanjeev Bhatt, who was with the state intelligence at that time. Setalvad held multiple meetings with Ahmed Patel just days after the Godhra incident, which happened on 27 February 2002. Ahmed Patel, it is alleged in this affidavit, gave Setalvad money, first through a witness person, 5 lakh rupees, and then 25 lakh rupees in 2 different installments for supposedly relief work, but then that relief work was not routed through the centralized Gujarat Relief Committee. The affidavit goes on to say the S.I.T's finding is there was a larger political objective, one which was to destabilize the then state government of Gujarat and the chief minister at that time, Narendra Modi. Let me go across to our guests who are joining us on the Super Saturday debate. Shehzad Poonawala, spokesperson of the BJP, Swapnil Kothari, lawyer, joining us, Ajay Umart, senior journalist, and Tausif Ahmed Khan, advocate and political analyst, also joining us. Shehzad, I'll start with you first. Pretty damning findings this in the S.I.T, but you heard from the Congress's spokesperson, Mr. Kheda, a moment ago. He is saying that all of this is being done just before the Gujarat election.
You see, whatever has been disclosed by the S.I.T, if I was to summarize it, Zaka, it becomes that Congress and Sonia were the mukhya kirdar. Miss Teesta Setalvad was the kalakar and Ahmed Patel was merely the sutradhar. He was the Mohra, but behind the Mohra, the hand was of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. And there was a 4D conspiracy. The conspiracy to defame the people of Gujarat, the conspiracy to divide the people of India on communal lines, the conspiracy to destabilize the Gujarat government and elected government, and the conspiracy to dismiss the Gujarat government. And this 4D conspiracy was done by 2G, one Rahul Ji and one Sonia ji. And it is not just the S.I.T. The S.I.T has made a submission before the court. But here is what the Supreme Court has said. For 16 years, the pot was kept boiling to sensationalize and politicize. It was a nexus of people like Setalvad, Sanjeev Bhatt and R.B. Srikumar who fabricated evidence. They tutored witnesses. They emotionally exploited Zakia Jafri. That this was a vindictive persuasion. Therefore, I call it not public interest litigation. It was a paisa interest litigation. 30 lakhs was exchanged. It was a prayojit interest litigation. There was Padma Shri being rewarded, there was talk of Rajya Sabha, and it was an entire political interest litigation only done to target Narendra Modi. But in the attempt to target Narendra Modi ji, they targeted the people of Gujarat, and therefore today Congress party is so ashamed they're not even coming on TV panels.
No, so I want to make that official that the Congress party has said that they are not going to be taking part in debates on this issue. But I want to go across to Tausif Ahmed Khan. Tausif, look at what the SIT is saying, and I'll read from it. The political objective of the applicant, in this case Teesta Setalvad, while enacting this larger conspiracy, was the dismissal or the destabilization of the elected government of Gujarat by hook or crook, for which the applicant had obtained illegal financial as well as other benefits from the rival political party in lieu of her attempts to wrongly implicate many persons, including then Chief Minister of Gujarat. It can't be more damning than this.
Zaka, the charge is that BJP state government of Gujarat was under threat and that there was an attempt to destabilize or dismiss that government. But we all saw that post Godhra, none of the BJP government fell. There was no destabilization, there was no dismissal of BJP government post Godhra. But BJP, on the contrary, is responsible for the horse trading, for destabilizing, for dismissing governments, elected governments in Maharashtra, in Madhya Pradesh, in Karnataka, and they are carrying on with their attempt. They're trying their luck everywhere.
That's a different. That's a different matter altogether. I'm asking a simple question. The SIT is saying, and you're free to dismiss those claims, but the SIT is saying that there were multiple meetings that Setalvad had with Congress leader Ahmed Patel, including in Ahmedabad. She was first given 5 lakh rupees in the first instance by one witness on the instructions of Mr. Patel, and subsequently she was given 25 lakh rupees. Now, I want to know, what is your position on this?
No, the BJP must clarify where did they get all the money from to put those MLAs they took away from Maharashtra. They were lodged in Assam 5-star hotel. Where were they getting all these money from?
But Tausif, what has that got to do with Teesta Setalvad?
And
what has that got to do with what has that got to do with the money that allegedly was paid off to Teesta Setalvad by Ahmed Patel?
Because these are all concocted, fabricated, manufactured theories that BJP themselves are doing in practice, and then using this practical experience to concoct a story and to blame Teesta Setalvad.
For what?
And
For
come
what?
up with these
What
materials.
do they gain out of it? Anyway, Swapnil Kothari, I want to read one more portion of that affidavit that's been filed. This is from the SIT. This is in her bail matter. It says, and I quote,
and the SIT chief was rewarded.
That is a different SIT.
Chief,
That's a different SIT. That is the Supreme Court appointed SIT. Mr. Raghavan, the former CBI director, was the head of that SIT. This is a different SIT.
Yes, one who gave the clean sheet to the so-called chief minister.
Let's have our facts at least correct. That's a different SIT. This is a different one. But let me read this, Swapnil. Once again, Tausif, please, I'm lowering your fader. Swapnil. 2 days later, in a meeting conducted in the Government Circuit House in Shahibag between late Shri Ahmed Patel and applicant Teesta, by this said witness, had handed over 25 lakh rupees more to the applicant on the instructions of late Ahmed Patel. Now, here is the interesting part. This cash money was given to the applicant. It was not part of any relief related, because all relief material was coming through a centralized Gujarat Relief Committee. So then why was Setalvad getting this amount of money, as is being alleged by the SIT?
Well, Zaka, the answer is very clear. Obviously, there was some ulterior motive behind giving this huge amount of cash to Teesta Setalvad. And if the prosecution proves that this was actually the case with appropriate witnesses being put in the box and with some further evidence, in addition to buttressing what they have said in the affidavit, then I'm sure that the defense will have a tough time getting the bail for Teesta on Monday. I believe the bail application is there on Monday, up for hearing. So this is, very, very clear that the Supreme Court has perforated through the defense at that time itself when they made that statement. Very, very bold statement the Supreme Court made very openly. Usually the court shies away from making these kind of observations, but it did so. That means it was extremely exasperated at that, and obviously all of these evidences that you pointed out must be there before them. And they have said that 16 years is too long. And all of this seems to be a perfect conspiracy to nail the then chief minister, and then continuing this for so long. That is the reason why they came out with what they came out. Those strong observations, which further led to more trouble for Teesta settlement. And I don't see those.
No, but how do you respond
that
to what
easily.
the Congress is saying, that these are mere allegations by the S.I.T? The S.I.T, of course, is appointed by the state government. This is an attempt to whitewash.
Well, Congress is used to making those kind of statements, especially when a celebrity's son gets arrested. Then we all say that it's political maneuvering.
Okay.
Then when Teesta Settlement gets arrested, it's witch hunt.
Shameless.
Then
Dhaka is shameless.
and all of those things. But I don't want to get into what Congress has to say. They're entitled to say what they wish to say.
Okay.
And I'm not here for any party.
Okay.
I'm here for the fact that if there's a
One
fact,
second,
One
it
second,
needs to be
Tausif,
proved,
one
it's
second.
there.
Ajay Umart is also
For
waiting
giving
after.
a clean
One second, I want to go to Ajay Umart. He's been waiting
S.I.T
patiently.
chief is
One
rewarded
thing,
for the
Ajay
diplomatic
Umart. One
assignment.
second, Tausif, please. All right, we don't have Ajay Umart. Okay, let me bring in Shehzad then. Again, the role
Please
of.
ask this question.
One
Why is
second.
S.I.T.
I will.
Why is
Let
S.I.T.
me ask the
chief
questions,
who gave a
please.
clean sheet?
Sir,
S.I.T.
please.
gave a clean
Sir,
sheet,
please.
was rewarded with a diplomatic assignment.
Let me ask the questions. Thank you. The SIT has also told court that Teesta's meetings with
Master
two
and
police
employees.
persons, Mr. R.B. Srikumar, then ADGP, and Mr. Sanjeev Bhatt, who was the DCI of
SIT.
the State Intelligence Bureau, both of whom had no work pertaining to relief work post the 2002 riots. So why was she meeting them then?
Exactly. And Zaka, this is still an SIT Gujarat, which has submitted something on affidavit, which is anyways considered, if they lie, they have to pay a penalty. But let's leave this aside. I am going to the Supreme Court verdict, and I want to just read out one line from there. Mr. R.B. Srikumar, in the later affidavits commenting about the functioning of the administration, must be viewed in the context of his denial of career opportunities. Before that, it says about Teesta Setalwad, for reasons best known to her and out of vengeance, was interested in continuing with her tirade and persecution on the basis of unsubstantiated allegations in the complaint, in the name of the quest for justice, with a real purpose to keep the pot boiling and to politicize the crime. Apart from that, in the Sanjeev Bhatt Supreme Court case, Supreme Court says that this entire is an attempt to influence the court through politics and activism with rival political parties. This is also in Supreme Court. Then there was one so-called favorite journalist of these people. Her favorite book of that favorite journalist was dismissed by saying by the Supreme Court that it has no evidentiary value whatsoever. Finally, let's come to the SIT Gujarat. Now, the SIT Gujarat says a very important thing. In the Haren Pandya case, she lands up, tries to tell the father of Haren Pandya, please sign this. And he says no, because there were innocent people trying to be implicated. Mr. Tausif may have 10 problems with me, but the fact of the matter is that the original SIT, which was constituted by Supreme Court, its closure report was confirmed by trial court, by High Court, by Supreme Court. The Gujarat government said, go ahead and make the SIT, we have no objections. So how can you now today come and say that the Supreme Court is also fixed? This is point number one. Point number two. Today, the Congress party must tell us that the Teesta files have opened up. I'll tell you some more payouts that were done. She was given funds from the central ministry by Kapil Sibal by breaking the rules. The MHRD gave her funds for that. She was given other funds which was taken in the name of Gujarat riot victims, and she misused it for champagne and chocolates. There's a case going on to that as well.
No,
she tutored witnesses,
the affidavit
Nanu Mia Malik, Kausar Banu case, and then even Rais Khan has come out and said...
affidavit also says that she was rewarded with the Padma Shri in lieu of what she was doing in the 2002 Gujarat riots.
Just one line, if I may just have one last line. Zaka, today I want an answer. Rahul Gandhi in 2014 said that Mr. Modi is responsible for 2002 riots. None of that is true. Today he should be on this debate, or his representatives, and they should tell us what they're trying to orchestrate this propaganda.
But Tausif, you're a lawyer, so please tell me, when the SIT says that there was blatant fabrication and forgery of documents by persons who were to be prospective witnesses of the complainant. Basically, they are saying it's a fabrication of documents and evidences, but also of influencing and tutoring witnesses and making them depose on pre-typed affidavits. You as a lawyer know that that is a crime.
Gujarat train burning is also the conspiracy theory of behind Gujarat train burning is also a fabrication declared by another, found in finding by the another SIT of Justice Banerjee. What are you talking about? Today, Mr. Modi is still haunted by the ghost of Gujarat riots, by the ghost of the people who are killed in Gujarat, and still he wants, now it's been so many years, decades, but still it is haunting him, and he wants a clean sheet
from the government. That is
The
why
wanting is
time and
only in your
again.
mind. The courts
Sir-
have said no such thing.
Sir,
And
but
by the
clean-
way,
the
No, no,
clean
why-
sheet has
no,
come
why
already from the
Shehzad
Supreme
is-
Court.
no, 3 levels of
Clean
court. But
sheet
by the
never
way,
came from
the
Supreme Court,
Delhi
please.
riots, 1984
No, no, no.
riots, the Delhi High Court
S.I.T.
held the government of that time
Supreme
responsible.
Court
He has
did
not a word to offer
go
about
in
that.
trial of any of the riot cases of Gujarat. So Supreme Court never conducted trial of any Gujarat riot cases. So please do not
Sir,
say
when
clean sheet has come from
Zakia
Supreme Court.
Jafri's petition
These
went
are
all the
S.I.T.
way up to the
appointed by the
Supreme
state
Court,
government.
just a
The
few
state
weeks ago,
government,
the court
judges
gave an
who are
order.
under the control of the state government.
was a
These are the
three-judge
SITs headed
bench.
by people under the control of the chief minister.
Three-judge
How will
bench
they
of
rule
the
against the
Supreme
same chief
Court,
minister?
Tausif. Tausif, it was a three-judge bench of the Supreme Court which gave the verdict exactly a month ago on Zakia Jafri's petition.
And Kapil Sibal appeared. Kapil Sibal was the lawyer.
Tausif.
We know what state Supreme Court is in under Prime Ministership of Modi ji. This is Supreme Court
contempt of the
senior
law.
most judges
You're
came out
making-
in a press conference and said that all is not right in the Supreme Court. We cannot forget that.
No.
Not
Now you're
long
making
ago,
allegations
just a couple
against the
of
Supreme
years
Court.
ago,
I-
top senior judges of
No.
the Supreme Court
Now you're
held a
making
press
allegations
conference
against the Supreme
and
Court.
said that all is not right in Supreme
No,
Court.
that
So
is
you
not
can
that is
turn-
not
you cannot
acceptable.
turn
If you
blind eye to that.
sir, no. These are allegations against Supreme Court judges.
What
These are very
allegation?
grave.
Are
These are
you
very
denying
grave
that there was
matters.
no
These
press
are very
conference by
grave
Supreme Court
matters.
judges?
Let
Sitting
me
Supreme Court senior judges.
let me go back to.
Please do not sell your soul, Zaka. Let us be truthful.
Let me go to
Let
Ajay
us
Umar.
be truthful.
Let me go to Ajay Umar.
Let us
Ajay
be
Umar,
truthful.
what is being said in this affidavit is there were multiple meetings that Teesta Satalwad had with Ahmed Patel, and that money was given to her on two occasions at least. That's
Ahmed
what this
Patel is
affidavit
no more
says.
alive to defend himself.
The
These are all afterthoughts that you
one
have
second,
come up.
Tausif, let me do this debate, please. Ajay Umar, what the Congress is saying is, if you had this information, why did you not reveal this when Ahmed Patel was alive? It's been 5 years since he died. How come you have this information now and you're releasing this to the public?
Look, the same witnesses have said, we all know that, they are hostile now. But I don't want to go into that matter because it is a sub judice. But the fact remains that in Gujarat, we have assembly elections. And this would become a very, very emotional issue in 2022 December elections in Gujarat. And BJP may get advantage out of it. The way, in 2007, Sonia Gandhi said that Modi is a maut ka saudagar, and he turned out to be a vote ka saudagar because, it has created a lot of emotional appeal. So this time also, because, BJP is now making it an issue that, Sonia Gandhi, is at the behest of Sonia Gandhi, Ahmed Bhai did this, and, it was an attempt to destabilize BJP's government or to destabilize Mr. Narendra Modi's government. I think in 2022 December election, BJP will get advantage out of this.
No, but Ajay,
That is
again, the political argument is you can have it one of two ways. Either the BJP wants to brush this under the carpet and rewrite the history of 2002 Gujarat riots, or you are saying they will derive the political benefit out of it. Both of it can't be true. Only one of it can be true.
No, look, BJP will get advantage of this because, BJP will play a victim card in this case that, look, they were trying to tarnish the image of Mr. Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party that, you have engineered all these things. So they continued to fight this battle for 20 years. And now because they will be exhibiting that, look, we have got a clean sheet from Supreme Court and whatever we are doing at the direction of Supreme Court that we are taking this action.
But
and
here is the thing that I don't understand. And Shehzad, please weigh in. I don't know. I mean, I don't come from Gujarat, but I've covered elections there. I don't think anyone in Gujarat is going to vote either for BJP or against BJP basis allegations against Ahmed Patel. He's been dead for the last 5 years. I mean, I can't remember the last time he contested a direct election. I think it was in the 80s. One second, to Shehzad.
No, to cynically reduce this entire issue as an exercise in election and vote getting is absolutely uncalled for. I think this is an issue of justice. Justice A for the people who suffered and justice B for the people who were unfairly targeted. And that doesn't mean Narendra Modi ji. CM Narendra Modi ji was rewarded by the people of India already. But the people of Gujarat and the people of a particular community were made to become like villains. And therefore, I think there has to be restitution about that too. And these people have committed 10 big riots against Muslims during the Congress regime: Nelli, Hashimpura, Bhagalpur, Mariana, Meerut, and there was a genocide of Sikhs in 1984. No place justice was ensured, and today they made this entire propaganda. It was a cottage industry of hate and propaganda, and that exists even today, except the issues have become internationalized. So today Tausif Rahman Khan or Taisif Khan should come out and apologize on behalf of Rahul Gandhi, for defaming people of Gujarat, defaming Hindus, and also attacking innocent people unnecessarily.
Tausif, again, I go back to what the SIT is saying. It says the ocular evidence collected by the investigating officer points to several meetings that were conducted in Delhi with political leaders after riots, wherein it was discussed by the accused applicant, in this case Teesta, with leaders of a prominent national party in power to implicate the names of senior leaders of the BJP government in the state of Gujarat. This is a sworn affidavit that they've given to court, by the way.
Zaka, no SIT in India can declare that Narendra Modi was not the chief minister of Gujarat when Gujarat was burning. And as long as Modi cannot get an SIT to declare that, Modi will be responsible for the Gujarat riot. He cannot shun his responsibility as the chief executor of the state, as the chief minister of the state. He is responsible for
by that logic, there were 3 days. There were 3 days of riots in Bengal, your home state, after the 2021 elections. Who is responsible for that?
Riot, the ghost of Gujarat riot will continue to haunt Narendra Modi in the parliament where he sleeps. He will spend sleepless nights, and the
Swapnil Kothari, final word.
Will continue to
again.
haunt him.
I keep saying this. If the Supreme Court appointed SIT has given him a clean sheet, and now no less than a 3-judge bench last month, said that this was an international conspiracy to keep the pot boiling, then I don't know what else the opposition is asking for.
Well, the opposition is asking for some sort of a make-believe defense where they really would like to sit in the corner and believe that what they are saying is absolutely true, but that doesn't function in a democracy. That's number one. Number two is that all the evidences that you pointed out, fabrication of evidence, forging of documents, tutoring of witnesses, making typed affidavits and making people sign, all of these are extremely gross things to put on an affidavit. And I'm sure they know what they're doing when they're putting this on an affidavit, on a sworn affidavit. Otherwise, if you cannot buttress those allegations, then you would be definitely held up for perjury. Thirdly, as far as the Supreme Court proceedings are concerned, or an internal problems of the Supreme Court are concerned, the very same Congress party acting through Mr. Kapil Sibal had withdrawn those applications at that point in time. Fourthly and lastly, let me tell you something, that, as far as the ghosts haunting Mr. Narendra Modi are concerned, I'm sure he's got great exorcists to exercise any ghosts who are there. If they're at all haunting him at all.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. I want to thank Swapnil Kothari, Shehzad Poonawala, Ajay Umart and Tausif Ahmed for joining us. We'll see how this story plays out. The bail application for hearing comes up on Monday. Meanwhile, the other big political story tonight, after picking Draupadi Murmu as the presidential candidate, the NDA now has picked Jagdeep Dhankar as the vice presidential candidate. With a public service career spanning 3 decades, Jagdeep Dhankar is currently the governor of Bengal, a post he's held since 2019. He's been dubbed by the BJP as Kisan Putra and the people's governor. Prime Minister Modi tweeted that Jagdeep Dhankar is a man known for his humility. He also said that Dhankar brings with him an illustrious legal, legislative and gubernatorial career and was always have worked for the well-being of farmers, youth, women and the marginalized. The last date of nomination is July the 19th. The election for vice president will be held on the 6th of August.
सभी नामों पर गौर करने के बाद हम सब लोग और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की संसदीय बोर्ड इस निष्कर्ष पर पहुंची है कि उपराष्ट्रपति पद के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए के प्रत्याशी के रूप में हमारे किसान पुत्र श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी को हम उपराष्ट्रपति पद के लिए अपना प्रत्याशी के रूप में घोषित करते हैं।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की लोकसभा और राज्यसभा दोनों में अथाह मेजॉरिटी है। वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के चुनाव में सिर्फ राज्यसभा और लोकसभा के लोग ही मेंबर्स ही वोट देते हैं, इसलिए उनका उम्मीदवार वाइस प्रेसिडेंट जीत ही जाएगा, इसमें कहीं कोई दो राय नहीं है। लेकिन जिसको उन्होंने उम्मीदवार बनाया है वो इस आधार पे नहीं बनाया कि वो कोई कॉम्पिटेंट आदमी है, वो कोई देश के हित में है। वो जो भी फैसला करते हैं वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हित में, सिर्फ राजनीतिक फैसला है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इससे क्या फायदा पहुंचेगा।
Explain to our viewers the choice of Jagdeep Dhankar. What is the calculation and why him?
If you see Mr. Dhankar's role in West Bengal, a state that has seen near collapse of law and order and the gruesome post-poll violence, he stuck steadfastly to the constitutionally laid down principles, irrespective of what Mamata Banerjee and the TMC government may have said about Jagdeep Dhankar and accused him of stepping over the line. He was someone who never breached the constitutional limits. He did not ever step out of his realm as governor. And I think that is incredible quality for someone to occupy the vice president's office. That experience, that legal understanding, that acumen that he brings is quite unparalleled. Having said that, he naturally represents the aspiration of the farming community. He is a Jat by caste. He comes from Rajasthan. He's somebody who is a self-made man, ticks a lot of boxes, is somebody who's widely seen as a man who will add to the heft of the vice president's office. It is for Mamata Banerjee to decide if she wants to support or oppose Mr. Dhankar, because she's not had the best of relationship with him. But just like the presidential candidate, we will ensure that our vice president nominee sails through.
And Mr. Mitra, your first reaction, Jagdeep Dhankar has been nominated by the NDA to be the vice presidential candidate.
Let me make it very crystal clear to you.
Yeah.
It is a very sensitive matter, and the decision of our party will be taken by Ms. Mamata Banerjee only.
Mm-hmm.
So in this matter, so far we are concerned, we don't like to make any comment. Only I could say that Mr. Dhankar did not play any active role so far the Bengal is concerned, and she did do nothing good with which the Bengalis are happy.